Hey y'all, Steven here with Kin Cloud Consulting, and today we're going to show you what the integration looks like between RingCentral and Salesforce. Now, RingCentral has actually built this as a native connector, meaning that if you wanted to hard code it, you could. If you want to use a third party like Zapier, you could. But RingCentral made it native, so it's really easy to connect those two, get that set up without having to pay for any sort of other third party experience to get you set up. Now, RingCentral, you might be using it as your service team, as your call center team, as your sales team, and they've built it so that all that functionality is baked into Salesforce and you can use it directly from the app. In this case here, we're going to take the persona of a salesperson trying to make a phone call and prospect to Mr. Steve Mitro over here. Now, once you have RingCentral set up, it's as simple as using this click to call functionality to get that phone ringing. So we have this little pop-up comes up, and Steve's phone is very shortly going to start ringing. Once we've answered it, conversation has begun, we have a couple of different options. If you press these buttons, you have the same functionality, be able to add more people, transfer, hold, and of course, record. Whether you need it for training purposes or because you need it auditing purposes, all that's fun and dandy, all baked in here. Likewise, if you have anything you want to take down and jot down during the call, you can put it here. Here are my example notes. Now, once that call is over, everything's gone well, you've booked follow-up steps with Steve, you can simply hang up that call and hit save. Once you save this, you can refresh your browser and all that activity you just had with Steve is going to show in the activity side of your Salesforce instance. Once we click in here, you can see it shows us all the information of who you talked to, what your notes were, but also that call recording feature. Now, after you've done that recording, it takes a little bit to process, so it takes about a few minutes. So I've created one for this demo just to show you what it looks like. It's a link. It's a link that you can access to playback, download, coach, train, whatever you need. Really simply put there. Now, as we know, outbound is just one part of the equation. The other side is going to be inbound. So if you have, you're on your home page, Steven comes along and needs to call you back. So while he starts ringing, you actually can still be in Salesforce. You don't have to have any other application open, and you're going to get a notification for a call that we can go ahead and answer. Now, what's going to happen here is that it looks at the person who's calling and tries to match to which contacts you think you might be talking to. In this case, we have Steve Mitro and Steve Mitro dupe. Because we don't want to work in the dupe object, we can click Steve, and now we have all his information ready to be able to speak to him and see everything that he has, whether it's his cases, whether it's activities, opportunities open, and have the context necessary to provide a productive call. Again, we'll take more notes. We also, if we want to hold, transfer, record, everything's there, we'll finalize that call. Save it, refresh, and once again, your call log is there. The outbound to Steve, the inbound from Steve, everything's fine and dandy. RingCentral also has a ton of different features for doing reports, for doing calls, for listening, for trainings. And what's beautiful about the integration is it actually works both ways. So every single call that we just did and ones that I did earlier are all going to be here. You also have the reporting that you want to have. Everything else is baked in. You can still have all that functionality you love in RingCentral without having to actually make your calls through it. If you want to do any sorts of reports, all this is a task and activity in Salesforce. So immediately out of the box, RingCentral actually gives you a number that you can simply click into, edit, adjust, and have that whole gambit from A to Z. If you have any other questions about RingCentral or anything to do with this, feel free to shoot us a message. Our email's in the description below. Put a comment. We'll be happy to reach back out, show you anything else you need to see. All the best, guys. Cheers.